Welcome to April's Garage, and we're living in a weird, interesting world where automakers are just kind of making cars that nobody really wants. So what's the deal?
It's really stupid. They're actually starting to admit to it a little bit, though, which is kind of funny. So if you were buying, say, a Mercedes C63 AMG, what engine do you want in your C63, April?
I don't know, just like a big, meaty, muscly German V8
exactly.
or something like that.
That's what everybody wants. That's the original formula for the C63 all the way back in 2008. It has been a darling for that. They made them smaller around 10 years ago, but twin turboed them. Okay, people still like those. But the new C63 is a 4-cylinder hybrid. Yay.
Wow.
Who wants that? Nobody wants that. Nope, nobody wants that.
No.
No. So it's funny, the current boss of AMG, and it's Michael Schiebe, it's German, so, you know.
Schiebe?
No, there's LL in there.
Scheibe.
But he did an interview for British Auto Magazine, and he admitted that the C63 is a very important car in our portfolio.
Right.
It used to be, it is, and will be. We decided with the current version to really go for the latest technology. We wanted something new, and that's why we put the F1 powertrain into a street legal car. Okay? We see that some of our very loyal customers struggle a bit with the concept. Of course, no doubt we have lost some customers who are just into V8s.
Whoa.
But you really have to drive the car. Just drive the car. You really like it. Just drive the car. It's a convincing product.
And it's backtracking, which I don't mean to be like sexist, but I am for just a minute. You know, when girls and my girlfriends were looking at cars, like we really do care about the color and the appearance of it. And like every single guy, all they want is the highest, the best, the strongest engine. Like that's what I feel like you guys don't care about the color. Like it's like an afterthought, but like all you care about is what is driving the heart of these cars.
But if we want the best accelerating experience possible, you can buy an electric car, you can buy a Tesla pad, you can buy Mercedes electric cars and all that stuff. You don't want a hybrid C63. The buyers for the C63 want that German muscle car that Mercedes is famous for, and they're saying, we'll just put our hybrid tech in it. Oh, it's Formula One inspired. Okay, cool. But nobody wants to buy it.
Right.
Nobody's going to buy it.
But what do you think his selling point is? Because he's like, oh, just drive it, just drive it, just drive it. Like, what is it going to be when you're actually driving it? It's going to turn you around.
Well, because of the crazy performance. But the problem with hybrids and electric cars, they all kind of accelerate the same. It's all just crazy, amazing acceleration, performance, handling, and all that stuff. With 15 years ago, 10 years ago, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, all of them, they felt different. They all delivered the power in different ways. They had different noises. It was all, not subtle. I mean, dramatic differences in the way they delivered that power and the feeling and the emotion and the soul of it. And that's all getting wiped away with these hybrid powertrains. As cool as they are, as cool as the tech is, you have an electric line, Mercedes. You have that. Why not have both? Why get rid of all of it and do a 4-cylinder hybrid C63? It makes no sense.
Right. Well, I guess they're talking about you can't just make every 500 different vehicle models for every customer out there. So they're trying to kind of steer the buyers into one direction that's compliant with what's on kind of the social acceptability of it right now. But that's not what the buyers want. Right.
So another one to admit they're failing is Jeep. Saying they may have been too ambitious with Wagoneer pricing. You think?
How much?
You think?
How much are they?
A fully loaded Wagoneer can be $100,000.
Crazy.
It started at $68,950. So very, very expensive when new. They built it to go after luxury vehicles: Cadillac, Lincoln, Mercedes. Infinity.
Which I'm surprised because I'm seeing more and more of them, and they're almost getting to be a status symbol where like the name Wagoneer doesn't ring status symbols.
I mean, it used to be really cool. It was one of the original luxury SUVs as far as with the wood paneling and that blocky styling and all that stuff, which they did none of that heritage at all in the new Wagoneer other than the name.
For it. Come on.
But it doesn't even look, they do make a kit, aftermarket people sell them, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good on the car because the lines of it are not blocky enough. So this is another doozy. Bob Broderdorf, or Broderdorf, admitted the brand was a little too far with pricing for the Wagoneer models. So Wagoneer, it's too far. There's such a fine line on where to go. Creating demand in the market, you want one less car than the market wants, not 1,000 less or 1,000 more. So there's subtlety there. And some strategies just went too far. It says in the Motor One article that the kind of pricing and upmarket push hurt the brand's relationship with consumers and dealers alike. So everybody wanted to sell expensive luxury SUVs because there's more money in it, versus like a old Jeep Cherokee that you could sell for $20,000. The dealer didn't make very much, the manufacturer didn't make very much, but they sold a zillion of them. Same goes with Wranglers. They still make the Wrangler. They used to be cheap, and now they're not. They want, you know, $50,000, $60,000 for a non-like 392 Hemi Wrangler, and it just ostracizes their core customers that wanted that value and some toughness and some fun and all that stuff by chasing the money, chasing the high margins versus high volume. And they screwed the pooch big time.
They screwed the who?
The pooch.
The pooch?
Is
that a Kansas term?
Was that a Kansas term?
Screwed the pooch. Jake, have you heard that?
I don't think it's
Screwed the pooch origin. It originated in the United States in the early 20th century, slang expression for a mistake or messing something up.
Okay, I'm going to use that during Barrett Jackson now.
And it started in a Yale dorm room in around 1950.
Wow.
You're screwing the pooch, a scene reference to a dog. So, yeah.
Oh.
That's, yeah. I guess now it sounds gross now that I really get, but yeah, exactly.
Stop it.
They're screwing the pooch.
Stop.
So Stellantis needs to do a dramatic transformation. Mercedes is admitting the building cars nobody wants.
I mean, there is also the new electric Charger.
Oh, there's a good
is
one.
Making waves coming out right now, but I just don't get it because the Charger's all about muscle. You know, back in the day, 60s, 70s, like American muscle, and then you're like shoving it down our throats with that new electric offering, but like, why can't you call it something else?
Well, there's a car that nobody wants because it is almost 6,000 pounds. And electric cars are heavy, but very, very heavy.
Right.
The performance, okay, there's much better performing electric cars for less. So the price of this thing starting at $70,000.
No,
$70,000.
Who's gonna buy that for 70 grand?
That's a Hellcat. That's old Hellcat Hemi. Crazy. So they're going to come out with a gasoline version. It's supposed to have the straight six, the Hurricane twin turbo. Nobody's going to want that.
Right.
It makes no sense.
I mean,
that is definitely a car that nobody wants.
An electric Charger, kind of them making like 10 of them and being just absolutely wild and crazy, but actually putting them into production doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah. That one is a really big head scratcher. That was, it's built to like check a box for. I mean, I don't want to say wokeness, but just that whole trend of 4 years ago where they were mandating towards electrification and that being the trendy buzz thing to do. But then if you don't have a market and a buyer pool for it, then like why do it? And so they're going to pull back the mandates. I imagine that's another day one change apparently when Trump gets sworn in. So who knows what's going to happen? But electric cars, the demand has not been as high as they thought. So one I'm thinking of, like the Subaru Solterra, is one where it was priced so expensive, it made no sense. So like it's a Tesla Model Y fighter, but it's ugly. Like here's a picture of it with its cladding and all that stuff.
Right.
It's supposed to look like a Subaru Forester or whatever.
It looks like the Mach-E.
Hideous, but it like started at $50,000, and you could get a Model Y for, I think, starting under $40,000. So it's just like, who is this car built for? Why even build it? It makes no sense. And they finally admitted their mistake and have cut the price on these things $6,500 to $7,000.
So they're probably losing money on them.
Yeah, absolutely losing money. But so now they start at $39,000. But still, I don't know who wants this.
I mean, Subaru is the right way to go. That's the right brand to do something like that. But you're talking about Dodge and the Charger. Like that just seems way off guard for them.
Right. Yeah, the BZ4X range also like 220 to 250 miles, and the Teslas can do much more.
Right.
So the range is way too low for it to be viable. The Cadillac Lyriq's got a 320 or 30 mile range.
I've never seen it go to full charge though.
You're not supposed to full charge it. You're supposed to only charge it to 3/4 or 2/3 to keep the battery safe. So you only do a full charge when you need it for a long road trip.
You said keep the battery safe. What is that?
Basically, if you charge it full time and then run it down all the time, you have increased battery degradation. So it's better to charge it to 3/4 or 80% or whatever than a full charge. So that's why when we plug it in, it stops at 260 or 270 rather than the 320. So it saves that less.
Programmed to stop there.
Yes, but if I wanted to, I can make it do a full charge every time. So you imagine like 80% of 220 miles, you got a range of 160, 70 miles.
Sure, and then when it's cold, you got pretty much nothing.
It's useless, and they wanted $50,000 for it. So yeah, automakers finally realizing, well, I guess we should probably build cars.
It's a trial period right now with electric cars. I get it. There's going to be wrong mistakes and wrong turns, so we're all working on it. But I like that they admit.
But I mean, it wouldn't take much thought, a focus group or whatever, or their audience, like, would our customers buy this?
Right.
And it's a pretty simple yes or no on a 4-cylinder hybrid C63 and a $100,000 Jeep.
Right.
And EV charger for $70,000.
It's a little dangerous to sit in a focus group in LA and you're saying, oh, don't make an EV, then all of a sudden you're ostracized for saying that. So there's some little tricky politics that might go on about that.
It boggles my mind, but okay.
It does. Thanks so much for watching.